Hi, good morning, everybody. Welcome again to our monthly Ask Ata live talk show. Actually, it's a casual, fun, and talk show which we host in Ata Plus on a monthly basis. We actually talks about almost anything and everything, but predominantly, in relation to investment and crowdfunding. All right, and today we have a very special guest, Madam Elizabeth Sue. All right. But before I introduce to her, is someone that I actually, fond a lot because I knew her quite some time ago, almost 10 years ago also, on some of the property thing. And we are still doing something on property as of yesterday. Yeah, Elizabeth. Anyway,
Right,
yeah.
true,
Anyway,
true, true.
and over the past year during the pandemic, I think we interact more often, especially in relation to prop tech and some of the matters in relation to
Right,
legal tech as well.
right.
Yeah. Uh, uh, so just a quick intro, yeah, to everybody on Elizabeth Shue. Yeah, is a very recognized figure, I must say, in the prop tech and legal tech in this region. She's a co-founder of Malaysia's first end-to-end real estate legal tech company in Singapore as well in Malaysia, by the name of Lipro System Proprietary Limited. And he's a founding member and currently the president of the PropTech Malaysia. He's also the author of two best-selling books on property investing. So you got someone very special today. Just before we start, yeah, Elizabeth, I just want to go through a bit on the what do you call it, the format of today's what we're going to cover. Actually, there's a lot of things we're going to cover. It's only about 1 hour. Normally, whenever I host something like this, you won't have enough time to actually cover almost
Yeah,
everything.
yeah.
But let's
True,
try to
true.
do and cover everything. Yeah, I can't drink puasa today, but anyway, you
Oh,
are you are
sorry,
you are at
sorry,
the
sorry.
no, no. You please do. uh, okay, there are three parts of area that we're going to cover. Number one, what does the property landscape going to be like? I think this is always a big question, especially in the
Yep,
current
yep.
pandemic. Yeah.
True, true.
We're also going to look at what does the future going to be like, having looking at what currently is happening, especially from the two perspective, from the investment perspective as well as from the property developers, the developers perspective. Yeah. And of course, the last part, which normally we'll do what we call the quick fire quiz. There'll be a question based on all the content that we'll be discussing will be appear on the screen, and the audience will be able to answer those questions. And there'll be some prizes which I will announce later. All right. So, okay, Elizabeth, you ready for the first one? I
Yep,
guess I'll
yep.
try to do as casual as possible because as I said, there'll be a lot of things to cover and a lot of questions. We do receive a few questions from audience that we actually do a pre-marketing earlier. That also we'll try to cover as much as possible. So for the next 10, 20 minutes, I'll try to cover some of this question. Number one, right, typical question, what does the property landscape look like? Question is, how does a real estate lawyer end up leading the Malaysia prop tech association? Probably just a bit of yourself
Okay, all
first.
right, all right, right, right. Okay. Yeah. Thank you, Amy, for having me here. I think this is the first time we go like one-on-one live. All right, first time. Yeah, but it's interesting. It's
Yeah,
interesting,
yeah.
right? And thank you to Atta.
Real life
And
a lot
I,
lah.
yeah, yeah. And I know the Atta team for years actually. I know all your co-founders, everybody, as friends,
Yeah.
it's really when Malaysia started crowdfunding, actually, yeah, I think we start to engage with each other. So now back to the question, how does a real estate lawyer became the PropTech Association Malaysia and the current president, right? So I
Yeah.
started as a real estate and commercial lawyer back in 1997 during that Asia financial crisis. So I was a property lawyer, and we were working with a lot of property developers. And of course, subsequently, as you know, there was a property bull run in Malaysia happening from year like 2010 all the way, like
Yeah.
for a good 12 years lah, property bull run. So I was very active among the developer as well as property investors, right? So we were doing a lot of deals for investors club, and bulk purchase. People are flipping properties. And all these honeymoon years in the property industry. All right. So
Yes,
and
yes, I remember that.
then came I think 2013 when the then Prime Minister announced the reintroduction of real property gain tax, and subsequently a lot of curbing measures was being put in place by central bank and the respective bank to curb lending and property speculation activities in the countries. So that's where I start to see, that is going to be a correction in property industries. This is going to be a correction, a downturn. That is when I start to research what is next for property industry as well as for my industry, because I was predominantly at that time a conveyancing lawyer. When there's no property transaction, there's no job for conveyancing lawyer, and that's when I came across technology, property technology, and legal technology.
What year was that? 2013.
2015.
Okay, correct.
2015. I took the entire 2015 year to research. I went to many countries. I even went Dubai. I went to London. I went Australia, to Poland, to so many countries. To attend a lot of seminars and events and conferences. So that is also when I actually learned about blockchain at that time. So I had a realization that one day property transaction as well as conveyancing processes will be automated and will be replaced by machine, by AI, right? So that was that wake-up call for me in 2015. So in 2016, I started Leapfrog System. That is where, our tagline is very unique. It's legal tech for prop tech. So being a lawyer, so I digitize legal documentation, but particularly for real estate industries, for property technology. Yeah. So then from there we also got to know a lot of the players in the industries. And in 2017, that's when we formed the first Malaysia Prop Tech Association.
Right.
Yeah. So that's where we are today. Yeah.
Okay. Good. I mean, the fact that you're saying that, how things are moving, are you also saying that, if the typical conveyancing lawyer doesn't do something about what they are doing now, they may be extinct or something like that?
Okay.
Tough question.
Okay, you see, in a way, to a certain extent, I think a huge part of the convincing lawyers' functions will be automated and replaced and become redundant. I think redundant will be the way. So now lawyers get laid off by the industry.
Okay. Cool.
Right.
I mean, okay. Good. Okay. We heard about this prop tech, but I'm sure, some of our audience, may not be that familiar, of this term prop tech. Perhaps you want to elaborate a bit more what exactly, prop tech means.
Yeah. Actually, it's true, because when we first started in 2016 and 17, the word prop tech was not popular. It was not a word, a phrase that people use. So we were all talking about IT. We were still using the word IT at the time, So we didn't use the word tech. So IT, doing app. Okay, everybody was talking about mobile app and all that. Then suddenly, I think in 2018, the word prop tech started to become such a word, because a lot of some of the big funds were from like PE fund and VC fund, they invested into some of the big prop tech platform, not in Malaysia, but that time it was China. Because China being a country with such a huge population, so even just you talk about property listing platform is already a huge market, right? So we are talking about rental listing platform, property listing platform, and also we have people like Juwai in China, where they a lot of Chinese were buying property overseas, so they need to have like a ecosystem, a platform where they get to see all the overseas properties and the analysis and all that. So it was in China. Then of course in US, there was some. Okay, US we have some of the huge platform that a lot of VC funds start to go in and look at prop tech. So that's when I think
Right.
the word prop tech start to become popular, and people will look at Southeast Asia, of course, naturally. Then they went to Singapore to look for prop tech, then Malaysia, then of course Indonesia. Places and country with huge population and huge potential for
Right.
middle income growth. That's always where I think where the market is
Yeah.
going to be, and the technology will be there. Yeah, so
Right,
so
right,
so
right.
that was where the word prop tech. Then now, and basically prop tech is very general. It's very general. People say prop tech. What is it? If you ask a property developer, all right, who is in his 60s, when you ask him what is prop tech, he will tell you, oh yes, when we do social media marketing, that is prop tech. But that is digital marketing. That is not property technology, right? So
Yeah.
for old folks, they don't understand, right? But whereas actually when you look into the definition of prop tech, it simply means utilization of technology for property.
Yeah.
Very general. So we can broadly categorize into three sort of like a category. Like for example, we have like information technology, which is listing platform like iProperty,
Right.
Property Guru, all these.
Yeah.
These are information technology, all right, platforms. And then we and maybe marketplace. Marketplace is not. It's just listing platform, right? Then we have management technology, where you have all the online booking management system,
Right.
any solutions that help you to streamline your processes, to automating
Right.
elite documentation. These are all management technology. Then of course finally we will move to transaction technology. That means you actually use a platform as a marketplace and you transact.
Right.
You actually transact. So we are
Yeah.
moving towards there. But of course, whenever you talk about transaction, there is regulatory issues involved. There's monetary issues, and there's security issues, and there's like personal data issues involved. So,
Right,
but we are
right,
moving
right.
into that area of transactions, and that's where blockchain and all that will come in.
Right. Okay,
So
good,
that is
interesting.
broadly, yeah.
Okay, so apart from prop tech, which I believe, if you look at the Google search, a lot of people are asking, what is prop tech. But I also, we did some research and we saw that now there are other common, I would say, other common searches, especially when it comes to what's the future going to be like, in Malaysia, what's the how's the property landscape going to be like, and so on. So I guess we go to the next session of this segment. That is in relation to what does the future of the property going to look like. So there are some questions that has been put forward by our some of our viewers in the past. This is by probably you can look at the screen over there. Yeah.
Okay. I'm
Okay.
looking at
this.
it.
From Isabella Francis, the question is, how will tech help property stay relevant? And what are some of the prop tech solutions that you're exploring through the Prop Tech Association Malaysia?
All right. Okay. Well, I think this question also tie into another question that I think I think you guys were asking me about post COVID-19, right?
Yes.
Post COVID-19, what is the property landscape is going to look like, right? Post COVID-19.
Exactly.
Yeah. Okay. So I think transformational. Okay. You see, pre COVID-19, we never expected such a thing to happen in the world. Pre COVID-19, for the last hundreds of years, people look at property. We only look at location. That's all, right? That's property. But with the pandemic, with the change of work style, lifestyle, and the change in the whole economic landscape, so I think I look at the new properties landscape in terms of six items, 6 headings, I would say. Firstly, I think we have to relook at design and functionality, because people will be working on and off from home. You see, very good example.
Okay.
We thought,
Mm.
the 14th of April this month, we thought
Mm.
that will be the end of our MCO and CMCO. We thought it's
Yeah.
going to be freedom.
Yeah. Yeah.
Little that we know that after 14, the number just showed up. Why? Because I think this is something that just came to us as a new reality. That we thought with
Yeah.
vaccination, wow, there is hope. That is the end of
Yeah.
COVID-19. But it is
Right.
not. Even when you get vaccinated, you can still get it. And in human being, when we thought there is a solution, there's hope. Then we start to party, we start to go out, and linger, and that's it. So looks like this is going to be really, this new norm is going to be a new norm. So we are on and off. Suddenly when the number come up, everybody don't go
Yeah.
to school, study at home,
Yeah.
work from home. So that's why the design and functionality of home has got to be really like a Soho style, like home,
Okay.
school, office,
Home.
kitchen, everything.
Mm.
Because it also as your central kitchen, because you got to work, you got to cook, right?
Yeah.
So it's like so multi-functional functionality. So I think the design is one thing. Now then
Right.
the amenities and facilities, because people get cooped up at home. If you stay in a condominium or even you stay landed, you're cooped up at home. So you need to have surrounding space whereby you can at least go out and like breathe, and exercise and so on, right? And also the amenities. Okay, simple thing like high-speed broadband, right? Like
Right.
the I think that's the main thing your high-speed broadband. Now
Mm.
the third item of course is still location. But location
Right.
is no longer a what do you call that? Something that is like
Relevant
within a
or
certain
important.
radius to my office, because we used to want to stay near office,
Your
but
office,
now
right.
it's no longer. We want to choose a location whereby
Better broadband.
better broadband. It's a secondary. It's secondary consideration, location,
Yeah.
right? And then location will tie into factor number 4, which is pricing. Pricing, because it used to be when you stay nearer to city center, it's more expensive, but
Exactly.
accessibility to your office is nearer. But now, since design, functionality and amenities and space is more important, so I and my affordabilities remain the same. So with this price tag, I now may choose to get a bigger house, but maybe further
Much
away.
further
yeah,
away.
further away. All right. Instead of you see, like for the last 5-6 years, you notice a lot of shoebox design home was designed and was marketed. A lot of shoeboxes, right? 400 square feet, 500 square feet kind of apartment. But now, can you imagine every day you get cooped up with your wife in a 500 square feet apartment? I think you will go mad. You
Yeah.
just need space, right? You will go mad.
Especially
Then with your children,
yeah. Especially when you and your children have to go on live, at the same time. Then you probably need a mini studio, each of
a
us.
mini studio. Yes, correct.
In a house.
Right, correct. Multi. You need like
Yeah.
multiple
Boxes.
corners, multiple
Boxes. Yeah.
Correct, multiple boxes. Yeah. So that is that. All these are factors that is going to affect the demand and supply in property industries. All right. So now next is bankability, because right, we being Asians, we all want to own a house. We always want our ownership, have the roof over our head. But you see, with this new norm, a lot of our job and our jobs, what do you call that? Our contracts, employment contracts, the form of contract, the form of employment will change, I would say, right? Because we start to realize a lot of full-time staff are suddenly become part-time, become freelance. They become contract staff for the companies, right?
Good.
So as far as the bank is concerned, they are not bankable in the eye of the
banks.
Because they, now when a bank want to lend you mortgage, they want to look at you, your profile, and then your company profile. How safe and secure is your company? What industry? If you are in certain industry that is not essential, you are not consider our first choice.
Risk. Very
Yeah.
risky.
Yeah. So they like people who work in the health industry, in certain industries, right? Okay. So therefore, the less and less people are able to borrow from the bank. That is going to be a fact of life, okay, all over the world. Then come the final factor, which is technology. Because with all these factors, I think technology will come in to rescue and to fill in the gap. To fill in the gap. Like example, property crowdfunding platform. Right? That is going to be one solution. Even though now Malaysia has only one property crowdfunding platform, but the regulation is already up, and we believe that slowly the government will have to maybe loosen the regulation and all that to allow more platform, and even maybe foreign crowdfunding platform to participate. Because in order for people to able to afford to borrow, they need to borrow not from the bank but from the crowd, from the retail investor, for example, right? So therefore, we see that mortgage technology, is going to be one huge area. Now, property technology in terms of like IoT, all that is going to be how we're going to live, right? So like for us, we are like all the time 24/7. We are having the smartwatch, linked up with our app and the computer, to monitor. That's how we live already. So we're going to link up with all the gadgets in the home. So sooner or later it's going to be like as a whole, right? So all those are how we're going to live. We manage, even control aircon. You use the app to control aircon. You no longer use the remote control, right? So it's going to be the new way of life. But of course, adoption of technology, there is phases. So right now, we see the supply of PropTech, there are plenty of solution, platform and application, but in silo. Okay, I think the keyword is they are still existing in silo. So now the user are getting educated, and slowly there will be a mindset shift. They will have to shift and start to learn to use it, right? Just like Zoom. Everyone has no choice. When MCO come, we learn to use Zoom. Then after mindset shift, then they start to use it and experience. After the experience, then only will come adoption. They will decide to adopt or not to adopt in the long run. Okay, so I see it's like phase by phase, it's going to happen. We are in the beginning, in the beginning of it. Yeah. Okay. Right.
Good. So that's from the perspective of people who wants to actually own a home, right? But there are also another group of people who are looking for investment, purely investment. And I think there are some of the things that we are looking at. Okay, of course, from the homeowner perspective, there are other things that we heard in the market. For example, like rent to own, and we also hear that fractionalization of investment through the interest scheme, for example, right? So how do you feel about all this?
All right. Okay. Well, actually, I think for the benefit of the audience, maybe we should let them know. Actually, Aimee and myself, we have been looking at rent to own and all this fractionalization since I think 2 years ago, even before COVID-19, right? We were also really looking at it. I think these are topics that are very close to our heart because it is home ownership, it is property investment for the people. So okay, now when you talk about rent to own, I think that is going to be a model to stay. In fact, we are still at a very infant stage in terms of rent to own model in Malaysia, right? But because of COVID-19 and because of the bankability issues of many of our homeowners, so since they are unable to own a home, so I believe that they may have to rent first. They have no choice but to rent. So after they rent, eventually they want to own. So therefore, the rent to own scheme is going to be more and more matured. So I think as we progress, and rent to own scheme, we are talking about like something that is not like 1 year, 2 years. It can stretch up to 5 years, 10 years, 20 years. All right. Therefore, we will need to rely on technology. We cannot rely on an Excel spreadsheet to monitor rent to own. Definitely, right? We will need to have a very stable technology platform that is able to monitor this and automate the process, to auto remind the parties, okay, now your rent is up, you better pay up. Once you pay, certain portion go into your deposit of the house. So eventually after 5 years, remind you, hey, now you can convert and own the house. Do you want to do that? So these are things that I think is going to come up. Rent to own scheme. So the government, I think, may even look at it, and maybe government may work with private sector on all these schemes. Yeah, so that is something that we see is going to come. All right. Then fractionalization. Actually, it's also part of a property fractionalization concept as well, because why? When we put everything together and look at it, on a more macro sense, you see, if I'm an investor, and someone wants to own a home but cannot afford or cannot get a housing loan, so what we can do is we can, all the investor can lend him money through a platform, and we own, for example, we start with partial ownership, both party. So the investor may start with owning 90%. And this aspiring homeowner may start by owning 10% of the fraction. So slowly, gradually, he will pay us off. So as he pay month by month, year by year, he will be like slowly redeeming part of the property. So his fraction will increase from 10 to 10.5 to 11 to 12, 13, 14. So it's on an increasing basis. Whereas we are investor, we are called fractional owner as well. So our ownership will on a reducing balance basis as we get paid, and redeem. So eventually, so we will like sort of, okay, pass the house to you, but over the years we have earned enough of our return from the house. Yeah, so that's how we see, it can actually come together. This is a rent to own, this is a fractional ownership. All this actually can be put together, like a hybrid model. Yeah.
Right. Good. Actually, there's a lot more that we can actually talk about on this matter, but it probably take another 1 hour for us to talk about this. Yeah, Elizabeth. So anyway, to our audience here, and you can actually ask further question if you want to later on. We will put this on our Facebook and Ata Plus. And you can actually ask more questions if you want to in relation to. But from here on, I would like to move on to the next question by one of our viewer as well, by the name of Kin Wei Mok. Probably we can see that on the screen now. So the question now would be keen to know how our local property regulations can work with fractional ownership. Yeah, what is that?
Right. Okay. Oh, okay. Very good question. Actually, it's a very short question, but the answer is
very long.
huge.
Yeah. Come on, let's try, because we do probably have another 2 more questions that we need to attend to.
Sure. Okay. Now, of course, we have explained fractional ownership just now, right? Okay. So local property regulation. Okay. Actually, we got to look at it from the fintech regulation point of view. We can look at it from the housing regulatory perspective. Because if we talk about housing, we are looking at the Ministry of Housing, Kementerian Perumahan. So maybe a bit of background, because last year, the entire year, I was engaging with a lot of authorities. One of it is KPKT, Kementerian Perumahan. And now, under the purview of the Housing Minister, there will be two new transformation, digital transformation that is going to happen. One is that our housing is going to be, all the transaction, the S&P, sales and purchase agreement, is going to be digitized in the future. All right, that's one thing. Then, and also the renter, in terms of tenancy, there's going to be a new statute. This is the first time in Malaysia. It's called Residential Tenancy Act. So under Ministry of Housing, they are going to regulate residential tenancy. So if you can see this tool, so you can see already, here is the rental market. They are going to monitor that, under a statute to regulate and monitor. So with that, I think very likely there is going to be a template tenancy agreement. That means all residential tenancy is going to be templified. You cannot simply ask the agent to just come up with funny clauses. So government want to regulate it and protect the tenant and the landlord, of course.
Alright.
Okay. Then here you have ownership, sales and purchase agreement. So the crossover is going to be rent to own. So it's all under one roof, which is the Ministry of Housing. So you can already see the pattern and where the government and authorities, regulatory is moving. That is one direction.
Right.
Okay. So and also with that, they are able to capture real-time data. So they will know who are renting, who are buying, what kind of prices, the stats, the geographic and all that, and then who are renting. So I think that is where slowly the nation we are going towards like solving housing issues. So that's where I think so now fractional ownership doesn't fall under this category. I think fractional ownership will probably under like Security Commission, under Bank Negara, where it become like property become a financial product. Right, so we have to put in fintech into property. So that is like under different regulatory body, right? That is probably how we can look at it.
Okay, all right. Thanks. That's quite an explanation. We've got another two actually question here. I'll try to put up another one. Okay, I'm not so sure whether this is actually pretty much on property, but this is from Johannes Kruger. All right. Okay. It talks about blockchain here. Do you see blockchain technology and the tokenization of assets upcoming in the property industry? As I said, this is perhaps more like classes of asset or tokenization of asset back token. Yeah.
Asset back
token. But anyway,
token.
please.
Okay. The answer is absolutely yes. Yeah, absolutely yes. In fact, it's happening already. In fact, is it 2016 when we start to look at blockchain? We look at blockchain as a technology, as an infrastructure, not as a tokenomics. So at that time, right? So then, of course, then a lot of ICO activities was happening in 2017.
But those without any asset back.
No asset back. It's just it's nothing. Someone just quote some coin and then collect money. So that was I think over. That was over. So now then it quiet down. Then it quiet down in 2019. But last year, the entire year of 2020, we can see like cryptocurrency coming back. We can see Bitcoin. So today I don't know what is the price now
60,000
it's crazy. It's crazy. It's crazy. In 2016, when I first heard about blockchain and Bitcoin, it was only I think 500 USD. For 500 USD, then it was climbing and crossing 1,000. Nobody believed it will cross 1,000. But today, look at the price now. Okay, but you see, the thing is this: when this is a very interesting phenomenon. You see, each time when there's a bull run in the stock market, after the bull run, then property will come in. It's always the stock market first, then only property. That means human beings are always like that. Whatever money they make, which they cannot see, eventually they will put that money into something that they can see and touch, the brick and mortar somehow. So even for those crypto wallet holder, a lot of them are looking at putting part of their crypto into safer place, safer wallet, which are asset-backed token. Assets are usually property related Okay, a lot of them are also looking at that, spreading their risk I mean just don't put all eggs in one basket, right? So in fact, a lot of inquiries start to come back into us. In fact, recently, it is true. Yeah, a lot of people come back to us and ask us about how to tokenize property. Now, in fact, there's something that nobody asks here. Maybe I just want to also bring up. It's this thing called Real Estate Investment Trust, REIT.
REITs,
REITs.
Has been there for quite a while,
Has been there for a while, all right. But REITs has always been like commercial property, retail, shopping mall, hospitality. industry, right? Industrial factories and so on. But but since like last year and this year people are looking into creative REITs, very creative REITs. Like example, like power plant, data center, right? Data center REITs is a very good REIT. Logistics center REITs. Okay, now what about residential REITs? Because there are a lot of interest and a lot of inquiries coming to us to ask, can they put their residential property portfolio, structure it and rectify it. They want to rectify it. Okay, right. But of course, REITs, when you talk about REIT, there are three categories. We have the listed REIT, which is on the Bursa exchange. That one you need to be at least 500 million to 1B to start with. Then we have private REIT that is registrable with a security commission, with a prospectus, but you can only market it to high net worth individuals. That is private REIT. Then we have another type, which is like private, which is private portfolio, property portfolio where you fractionalize it now. You just cut it into small fraction, and then you give return to your private investors, your clique of friends, I would say, because you cannot market to public, cannot market. So that is where I think a lot of these are coming. Now, besides Malaysia, of course, Labuan is another place. Labuan and even Australia, Germany, their regulatory body, the authorities are giving out license, for tokenizations of assets. But it may not be called like asset-backed token, but the way they structure it somehow is still like every token is a representation of a percentage of a asset. So the token, I see it as only a representation, not a currency, right? So it's like your digital cert. So you just keep your digital certificate in the e-wallet, basically that. Then you can redeem, you can sell, you can transfer, So I think that is the kind of structure and model.
Right. I guess there'll be a lot of evolution also over the years. That there are going to be, as you said earlier, the ICO, which are unbacked token. Now you see a bit more of backed token. But you also see people who's trying to kind of scam, putting up initially a asset-backed token, but immediately upon issuance of those tokens, they will put it into an exchange where they pay like 4 to 5 million just to go into an exchange, and at the end of the day, there's no more back by So anyway, again, that is a topic by itself. Again, we'll talk about that. Maybe next time we'll have one topic just on tokenization, and how it will evolve.
It will be interesting.
I would like to go to the next, which I think is a bit more also interesting, by Mr. YL Chu. Okay. Now, she was asking something to do about the agency. What do you think is the future of property agents in view that technology and electronic platforms are enabling owners to post and investors, buyers, renters, to search for their preferred property much easier?
Okay, all right.
Again, the question is whether a property agent will be there or not.
Correct. In short, okay. Good question. Okay, actually, if we put it broadly, I think a lot of the middlemen are at their job is at stake. Not only property agent, right? A lot of the middlemen. Lawyer, for example, we are intermediary. So that's why it's the same. So I guess for all the industries, we just have to think out of the box and digitally transform ourselves, I suppose. So actually, as a property agent, you can see technology as a threat, or you can see technology as a tool. If you know how to use a tool to help you, you can sell better. For example, virtual viewing. You can still have your customer base, and then you use virtual viewing. You use all this whatever application to do online booking, secure the customer. You can still do business. So you can choose not to be you can choose to remain relevant in a digital transformation era. I think that is the key. That's the key.
All right, interesting. But again, like I say, this again can be a topic by itself, and how technology, how digital technology would actually has what it has done has disrupted quite a lot of other businesses, and how from a traditional business gone into what I would probably say a peer-to-peer economy, whereby people will go directly, using technology, as what is happening as we speak now. And of course, there are quite a lot of other things has been accelerated after the pandemic. Like the education, healthcare, and so on. So anyway, I would like to go through one question from Mr. Sami. Mohan Sami. Okay. His question is, how has property crowdfunding platform progressed since inception? Is it promising?
Wow, I think this question, I may not have an accurate answer, because I think so far Malaysia, there's only one platform being licensed by Security Commission. All right. Then subsequently, the Security Commission issued a regulation, a guideline for property crowdfunding platform. That is as far as I know. I think it is still probably at the infancy stage. It's not matured yet.
Right.
So we got to give it time because that happened prior to COVID-19. So now with COVID-19 and now slowly the market comes back. So probably people may see property crowdfunding slightly differently. Maybe more user will go in. There's more requirement, and I think we got to give it time. Probably give it another like 1 year. We got to see through this year and next year and see what will be the demand like.
Right.
Yeah. Because basically they are replacing the conventional bank in a sense.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, I guess for the past more than half an hour, we've been covering about from the homeowner and investor's perspective. Let's cover a bit more from the developer's perspective, because I guess property is also there must be a supply and demand, not just a demand, but also supply as well. So I guess the question is property development still a lucrative business to be part of? I mean, this is a very general question.
Right. Okay. You see, the question is whether is property development still a lucrative business to be part of. So there are two perspectives to look at it. Okay, from an outsider perspective, the answer is always yes. That means when we see from the onset that wow, property developer, kaya one, they make like millions and millions. Okay, so that is the first impression of developer, from all layman's eyes. But because of the nature of my profession, I'm a property lawyer, and I act for developer, not only in the sales and purchase agreement transaction, because I do a lot of land matters. I do their joint venture, I do their the development planning. So we sit in those kind of project meetings. We sit in their board meetings. So that's why we see property developer from the inside out, not outside in. From the inside, I think they are all crying. From the inside, they are all crying. Yeah.
That's probably you can see some of the major property developer are shifting to some other business like glove factory. Yeah, you've seen recently like Masing, and perhaps some of the other property developers as well. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Because the margin has gone from maybe those days. Those days when we do feasibility studies, the gross profit is about 26 to 30%. That is gross. Okay, from gross then you cut then to net, right? Your net is still double digit those days. But in today's landscape, the net profit is many times is single digit, and sometimes it's negative. If you are not careful, with your cash flow management, and also a lot of what do you call that, buffer. You need to have there are a lot of costs that are unforeseen, right? For example, now with COVID-19, a lot of the construction cannot go on, so there will be delayed in construction. When there's delay in construction, there will be late delivery charges, right? LAD. So you need to compensate your buyer for late delivery. So that will be cost that will eat into your profit, right? And then
Right.
if you can't deliver, but your bank loan, your interest is still ongoing. So you need to serve your bridging financial interest monthly basis, until you hand over. So all that are unforeseen costs to a development. And when you sell also, it's not that you can like launch and sell immediately. So you have stock. Your unsold stock is always cost. It's always cost. And in order to sell unsold stock, so property developer has been known to offer very high commission to the agent. So at the end of the day, the developer is probably like just getting back cash flow instead of profit. So the profit may go into the trader, the middleman.
Yeah.
So this is something that we see happening for the past couple of years. So but moving forward, I think property development, I think we are waiting to see some game changer, in the industry. Probably some developer will come out with I think out of the box solutions to market, to sell, and things like that. Yeah.
Now, we do have one question from actually I believe he's a property developer. This is from Mr. Tony S. Okay. Because he mentioned that as a property developer. So he mentioned that as a property developer, I believe he is. What type of properties can I offer for property fractionalization? Are there any regulations that govern this?
Right. Okay. I think this is a very good question. I really want to share this.
Yeah.
I want to share my experience. Okay. You see what happened since 2019, the entire year of 2019, I was talking about property fractionalization. All right. So I did a lot of market education on property fractionalization, and a lot of developers also look for us. I talk and share with a lot of developers. Now, from the very onset, the interest level is always there, because it's not easy to sell the entire property. Even though you have interested buyer, but they cannot get bank loan. So the developer thought, hey, it's good idea to sell in fraction, and then let them own it in fraction. But of course, the type of properties it has to be investment grade property. Like for example, it's custom made for Airbnb. It is or the developer build it. There is an operator that will come in to operate as a hotel, as a hospital,
and provide some yield.
So provide yield. So the yield is where it will go to be distributed to all the fractional owner, right? So so the concept and the idea is fantastic, but the implementation is a nightmare. Right? The marketing is a nightmare. Yeah, it is a nightmare because we actually did 2 small projects for 2 different developers down south in Johor, right? In Johor. So once you see when you have a property and you want to market it, it's already difficult. You say you have 200 units, you want to market 200 units, is already difficult. Can you imagine now you chop it into maybe 20,000 fractions? You go to market to 20,000 people, for example. So it's a nightmare, your marketing activities, the marketing costs, the how to reach out to the market. So that is going to be a nightmare. Are you going to do event? Going to do digital marketing? What about Google Ads? All these are costs. All these are costs, right? Then you have to pay middleman commission again. Right? Then you have to maintain the portfolio and provide return, management, operation, right? So you have to in a way you have to take care of your investors for like 5-10 years. So all these are costs.
Yeah.
All these are costs. So the cost is it's going to be something to look at now, right? So that was in 2019. But moving forward, that's why maybe this need to the market may change. Even for P2P P2P platform, crowdfunding platform also. We see the transformation as well and the evolution, right? Now we see there's it's all through digital means. People just come in, they look at the portfolio, the investment, then they just click and they just invest, right? So maybe it will slowly mature to that extent. Just have to give it time, and it need to progress and need to mature.
Right. And I think you'll probably see also more. See, I mean, you mentioned about P2P. Yeah. Just again for the benefit of the audience in Ata Plus, stay tuned with us because I think very soon they're probably going to see also one or two property development company that is actually crowdfunding on an equity crowdfunding platform. Yeah.
Wow.
Like us, not just merely P2P. But again, the modeling and everything else, will be interesting to see. But as I mentioned earlier, typically a developer, you can get a loan, but there's always that capital portion which the bank would require, which is always the challenge. And this is a more, I guess, again, you will see more boutique type of property development, not the mega development, would actually go into property crowdfunding or even ECF, for them to be able to raise that. Yeah. All right.
Interesting.
Interesting. Okay, we have about 10 minutes. We before the quiz fire session. I want to go very quickly on this last portion of this, which is actually from the perspective of investor. There's one. I mean, probably you can only do one or two questions. Maybe one question. Let me see. I guess the very general one. Is it still a good opportunity to invest in property? That would be the general question. What do you think of that? Yeah.
Okay. The answer is this is bloody good time to invest in property. Okay.
Yeah,
I gotta tell you
okay.
because the it's always the case. You see, you look at US 2008 during the subprime.
Right.
It was such a horrible time, horrible years for property investors. But it's also the best time for people who buy. They get to buy properties in Las Vegas, in California, in all these places. It's like few hundred US dollar. I can own the properties, like those single standalone kind of house. So I actually know a lot of Asian, not Chinese, Malaysian, Sarawakian, Sabahan. All right, I have friends who actually went to US and start to pick up properties just like that. So,
right.
a lot of Malaysian actually they have like huge portfolio of United States properties until today. And imagine they buy just from the local council, through some auction and all that. They just buy, pick up, and they don't flip. They just collect rental until today, right? So I know a lot of these people, happening, and Malaysia as well. In fact, I just came back from Johor Bahru. I was in Johor. I was in Medini, Iskandar, and all these places looking at the property market in Johor. As you know, Johor is very bad because there's no Singaporean. Now they cannot cross border. But eventually, the border need to reopen. The cross border need to happen again. So, but now they are really at the slum. So some of the property we are looking at 50% below market, half price.
Wow.
We are looking at property that you can.
So if you have a cash, then why not?
Yeah, holding power of 2 years. But we can crowdfund.
2 years.
We can still crowdfund.
Cool.
And
okay, let's talk.
put up
We
a
talk about
property
that
fund, right?
separately.
And pick up this thing. I mean,
no.
how often do you get an opportunity like that? No, 20 years maybe once. This is like once in a lifetime. Once in a lifetime opportunity, right? Yes.
Okay, hear that for all those out there, who are looking at investing in property. This is the best time to actually invest. Okay, just one last question on this. I think this is probably the last question also because we only have a very very short period time now. The question is let me see. Do you think that the solutions being explored through PropTech makes investing in property a more attractive investment class?
Wow, sorry, what is that questions again?
Okay, maybe you can. Okay, the question is: do you think that the solutions being explored through the PropTech, makes investing more attractive and attractive investment class?
Actually, don't quite understand that questions, but anyway.
Okay.
Whether like the utilization of PropTech for property will make it more attractive to invest.
Yeah, something
Okay,
like
actually,
that.
I think depends on what type of prop tech, lah. I guess. Okay, for example, you're talking about like those property development that comes with a lot of IoT, you know. So it becomes something that is more attractive to the younger generation. So if you buy it and you want to rent it to the younger generation, probably it is a better class of investment product because it's easily rent out to the younger generation, to the gig economy, right? So probably that is
Yeah.
one thing to look at. Probably like a development that come with like a community app. You know, everything is just linked up, you know, through a mobile phone, you know. So yeah, again, it is appealing to certain class of rental market, for example, you know. So I suppose depending on the type of tenant that you want to attract. Younger
All right.
generation, maybe this, you know,
Yeah, maybe.
those who work from home, maybe this, you know. So you're talking
Yeah.
about family, maybe what they want is something else, you know. So depending your target tenant, I guess.
All right. Thank you very much, Elizabeth. It was a very insight. There's a very fulfilling, session that we had. I think I'm very sure a lot of people has benefited, not just from the general audience, the investor, the homeowner, as well as again developer. In fact, along the line, I actually, WhatsApp to some of my developers friend, right? Check it out. This could be good for you, because I do know some of my friends who are in property development is also, going into other businesses like glove factory, healthcare,
Yes.
and so on.
Yes,
Anyway,
healthcare.
yeah. So now we are going on to the last question, what do you call it, segment, which is the quick fire. What happens is that the person will get the highest number of answers correct and the fastest will win. Okay, these are the things that they will win. One clubhouse, actually the 2 passes of clubhouse passes, yeah, and using that they can get for them, they themselves, he himself or herself, and another one for a friend to listen to the latest, hottest, and most trending news on property, investing, and real estate, plus 200 ringgit investment voucher from Atta Plus, which means that you can actually use it to invest in Atta Plus. So the first question is, right, question is, what does property fractionalization mean? So I'll probably give like 5-10 seconds for that, and we'll see. All right. Okay. Do we go to the second question or? Yeah. So the answer is actually splitting the overall cost of property among a group owners or users. Yeah. So that's the answer for those who. So who is this? So we got a winner by the name of Wong K Wei. Got it right. All right. So he's the fastest lah. I would say he's the fastest because we do objective question. So it's quite straightforward. Now the next question is, why has PropTech become an attractive investment tool for property investors? We have A, makes property price more affordable. B, and easy entry. C, is the liquidity, and D, all of the above. Actually, I'm not so sure on the answer myself. So let's give about 5 to 10 seconds. See, when I was in school last time, whenever I'm in doubt to answer any question, I just say all the above. I wonder, is that the answer or not? Okay, we got a winner. Yong Xiang Wong won. It is. See, so my formula works. All right. The last question. That's the last question here. What is the name of the organization that Elizabeth Shue is president of? This is very easy. A is Malaysia PropTech Association, B is Real Estate Managers Malaysia, and 3 is Real Estate Technology Malaysia. If you are with us from the very beginning, you'll be able to pick it up this pretty fast. Do we have a winner? Yes, we do have a winner. Arif Anwar won this, and the answer is A. All right, thank you very much. All right, I think this we will wrap it up now. First and foremost, I would like to thank again Elizabeth for coming to be our guest. Okay, it was a very, as I said, a very insightful, very fulfilling. I believe a lot of people are able from various walks of life, not just the home user, but our home owner, but everybody, including investors as well as property developers, would benefit out of this. So, for those who are, please log on to our website to more updates at ATA Plus. At the same time, do check out our Facebook also, because we do have a recording of this, so you keep on be able to see it over and over again. At the same time, if you do have more questions, do post it at our website. And don't forget to also visit Malaysia PropTech website, and try to understand a bit more, what PropTech is, and hopefully, we all will be benefit out of this. So thank you very much, and we will hope to see you, all of you, and more for the next session of ATA Plus. I believe next Ask ATA next month. All right. Thank you very much.
Right.
Thank you.
Right. Okay. Thank you. Bye bye.
Thank you. Bye. Bye.